this and said,
You did too, yeah.
and listen, we're not on the take here. We will always, this is why you're listening to us. You want to listen to a watered down, wetback podcast, go listen to some watered down pansy shit. So we're not on the take, but we did give a great review. And then Jason did DM me to say, who's now on the TV show, to say, thank you guys for being so kind to Tom,
Well, he was
which was,
fabulous
he
at the
was
meet and greet.
great.
He
Yeah.
was wonderful, gracious, sexy. Let me pull his shirt up. He was hot. Okay. He was great. He performed. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be shocked, like all of us, right? There's two sides to everybody. I do think he is probably manipulative and, conniving, and probably he loves, like, he can wait it out. Probably, I think for him, he's a guy like, oh, bring it. I will wait you out, unlike any other. And I just hate to see her give all her money to lawyers when, in fact, sometimes you got to do the math. Is it worth paying a lawyer $250,000 or selling that house to him at a $250,000 loss? To me,
Right.
I would rather sell that house, have peace of mind, and be away from him than pay a lawyer 250 grand. I hate lawyer fees.
I get it. And look, I mean, she does keep implying that he's, and everyone says, oh, we're Ariana haters. We're not. I mean, look, if the house is worth $3 million in the open market, once we work out all the fees and this and that, I understand if Tom is offering you 500 grand to go away, of course you're not going to do that. I get it. I'm not saying he's innocent, right? He can offer one thing. She could finally say yes. And he could say, now I want more. But I agree with you. If it's worth 3 million and he offers you 1.5, like, what is it? Like, is he like, take the money and run? Like, take the money, whatever it's worth, he should offer you half, right? And then go away. Like, right? So it's not being a Ariana hater or a Tom fan. It's like, if he wants to stay, you're punishing him. And that's what it sounded like, that you just don't want him to stay. And you're not just going away, you're getting money. So, right. Wouldn't you want to just, like, if it were me, I would say, okay, it's worth this. We've talked to 4 agents, give me half, deal with my lawyer, give me half or whatever. And I'm getting the fuck out of here. And I have $2 million
Well,
in my back pocket.
I think it's very
I don't
obvious
know.
he doesn't want to give her he doesn't want to give her half, right? He wants some sort of deal, and he's probably
Well,
arguing.
then that's not right.
No, but he's probably arguing, like, can we get 3 million for it? If we put it up on the market.
Right.
And, like she said, they're kind of stuck because they both have to agree to sell it. I don't know.
Well,
That's
now she's gone to the courts. I mean, she's asked a judge to step in and basically force the sale, which, yeah, I think that's where this should head, right? Like, just, and
100%.
also, Tom, like, I know you want to stay, but like at some point you're going to, and listen, I've also tried to I go from 0 to 100 when it comes to business. Like, once you see that this is the definition of insanity, which I do think Tom probably is, like, okay, I want 1.5. You're offering 1.2. Now you came up like to 1.4. You know what? I want 1.5. I'm going to take 1.4. And now you're about to agree with Sandoval. And he's like, well, I only want to give you 1.3 now. I'm changing my mind. So I think that's probably Tom. Then I would be like, this is never going to fucking be sold. Like, you got to get the courts involved. But once again, we're in the weeds. But I love that too. I was like, just sell the fucking house. Look, Lala, I thought that was a great scene where Lala is a little scripted. They're making Lala out to be the one that contacts Raquel and is questioning things. And oh my God, we thought Sheena would be on Tom's side, and now it's Lala. But I did like when Lala was like, well, I understand you don't want him to have a party, but like, it's his birthday. Can't we have a compromise? Like, okay, 12 people, that seems reasonable. So, yeah, I mean, there are some, I don't know. I think I might have liked this. I think I might be enjoying Vanderpump Rules with the 1.3 million people, maybe more than you are. I'm
Oh,
actually the
well, yeah,
positive one in this relationship here today, Sarah.
yeah, you are. I liked the first episode because I just think it kicked off. It was beautiful. It was all well set. Now I'm just sort of, okay, we've heard a lot of this information. That's sort of what drives me nuts. And then, the other scenes that were poignant, like I said, with Sheena and Brock. I mean, the Sheena singing career, I just,
Good as gold, honey. Listen to me. Listen to me very carefully.
yeah.
You have come with me to see Tom Sandoval in the Most Extras, which I saw twice on 2 different coasts. Now you are coming with me to see the icon that is Countess Luann.
I
Luann literally says to me afterwards, like, are you okay? Because like I have seen every incarnation of her show so many times. She's like, are you? I'm like, I will never get bored. Like Luann is my girl. If Sheena does, I mean, I've been saying this, Sheena needs to do a mini tour. You will be coming with me.
With what songs?
Good as Gold, all the other songs,
Okay, yeah, okay.
some
Uh,
covers. No, she had some of those other songs back then. The covers, she can do covers. She just showed the video and the flashback of Brett from the Brett and Max and Dana season. Um, I feel there's going to be an LA performance soon by Sheena Shea. And guess what, Sarah? I hate to break it to you. You're going to get the babysitter. You're going to put the kid down. You're going to get in your car, call an Uber if you want, and you're going to come. And I don't want to hear you're complaining that you have to wait beforehand. That's how it works when you go to see a live show.
well, hopefully she takes her time on launching the tour.
You're not
Like
a
I said,
fan.
what do you believe? I mean, Brock and Sheena seem to have a strong marriage. I guess that scene where Brock is basically saying, I kind of want the old Sheena back before kids, which is that's a common thing in marriage. Like a lot of people change. And certainly when you become a parent, you become, I think, just hyper aware of all the crazy stories in the world because you're just like trying to keep your family safe. But what do you make of that? I mean, has that always been a thing with VPR where Sheena's mom has sort of been in the mix? I'm sure they're very close, but or was
I
that a
mean,
new revelation?
she's always been around, Lala's mom has always been around. Like they're close to their moms. I didn't realize all this with Sheena, that she had OCD and she had a brain that overthinks things. And just let me say, just like you said about who was it about Jax and Kristen, me and Brittany, Sheena in the real world as a person is really, really lovely. She really is. Like for
Yeah.
me, who's trash is all these housewives, as vile and just rude. Sheena is just, she really is lovely. It's really a good cast. I mean, the white Kanye could be a little bit of a dick. In my experience, Mr. Kennedy is a
Oh, in real
little,
life?
he's a
Okay.
little into it, like, oh God, another person wants a picture with me. It's like, bitch, you should be so lucky. But Sheena's lovely, really lovely. I'll be honest with you about that one.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I mean, speaking of the white Kanye, not to, we can go back to the show. I mean, all this stuff, people are running wild with digging. And now, Raquel on her podcast, Rachel Goes Wild, said, if I told you
Rachel goes rogue, you mean?
rogue, Rachel goes rogue. I'm like, girls gone wild. I had Joe Francis on here from Girls Gone Wild. Love
I love
him.
it down in Mexico, outcast to Mexico for the rest of his life.
And you know what's so funny? After he was on here, he like just befriended me. They all befriend me. And then like when I just he was like, come and stay at Casa Armara. And I was
Okay,
this
I
was
would go
like,
with you to that. I
oh
mean,
well,
I don't
that
know.
was
Would
like
we
two
ever come
years ago.
back?
I don't know. And then he was like, one weekend, he was like, Mario Lopez is down here. Come on down. You can interview him. I'm just like, can I really go? I'm like, first of all, I don't think it's gonna happen like that. Like, I mean, but thank you. But I mean, we've lost touch. Really, these are true
Oh,
stories.
hit him back
Sarah's
up on the IG. I
uh,
want to go down in Mexico. I can't remember. He can't come back here. Why? Was it tax or alleged sex trafficking or what? What is it? A
I think
combo?
all a combo. We have a combo. We have a false imprisonment. I think, if
Oh,
you have a young lady or a young gentleman in your hotel room and you're like, well, I still want to have, I mean, this is not in relationship to him. I'm just saying, like, if you're in a room with someone and you're like, well, I'd like to have sex with you for like 12 hours. And they're like, we had sex for an hour. I'm kind of over it. And you're like, yeah, well, you're staying for 11 more hours and you lock the door and somehow they can't get out. That is kind of the definition of false
yeah.
imprisonment. So I think there's some of that sprinkled in. Look, we all do things. We all get in trouble. I mean, I've done things. What did I want to say to you? But no, Rachel goes rogue. She claims, if I revealed about James Kennedy,
You
it
feel
would
it,
ruin his
sis.
life. Doute, has dropped. Now people are finding nuggets. Oh, well, remember Doute said this, she implied. And now there's something surfacing where Jack said, look, I don't want to get involved, but James in his temper. So there's this. Now, mind you, a lot of people are like, let's not forget that Doherty, Jesus, my mind is on Shannon, that Doherty punched James and she's the one. But listen, I got nothing against James. I'm not coming from, but there is this brewing online that James is, you know,
Well, isn't it about alleged abuse? And is the abuse towards
yeah.
the dog or towards Rachel?
I, I believe it's like towards Rachel and it's towards Kristen, and people are. Jax made some comment like years ago that James hits girls, or and I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, that's where all this is coming from. Now, I'm not saying that that's true, but that's the undertone that the Reddits and the subculture of the troll world has been bringing up. So there, I mean, I don't know where we're gonna go with that, but I'm just saying that's lurking now. That's lurking on the underbelly of the internet.
I did love the scene because for our fabulous listeners who don't live in Los Angeles,